Let's Nightfall, episode 10, and this week's Nightfall is Omnigul again. This is some great strike rotation. I think this is going to be a harder solo this week due to exposure being on, so those are the modifiers. We have Epic, Void Burn, Juggler, Catapult, and Exposure. Warlocks, you will have the easiest time this week if you're running the Vampire build with the double scatter nades. That is what I am doing. So if you do have them, have Nothing Manacles, that's going to give you another scatter grenade. If you don't have Nothing Manacles, that's fine. It's just easier with Nothing Manacles because you get double nades, and with Catapult on, you're basically going to be spamming nades the entire time. So this is the setup that I am using. Titans, I know Void Burn is on, but a good setup you could run also is Sunbreaker. With the Armatarium, you get double nades, and then run the perk, I think it's called Simmering Flames. It's on the far right-hand column. I forgot what it's called, but it's like when you have your super, your melee and grenade come back like twice as fast or something like that. And you could run the Armatarium with that and Thermite nades, dude. You could just spam the hell out of those in the Omnigul room. So for weapon setup, I'm going to run a Sniper up to Omnigul, avoid Sniper obviously, and then I'm going to rock Truth the entire time. You could rock Dark Drinker Titans if you're running Bubble. Hunters and Warlocks, I would personally not rock a sword this week. Primary, it's whatever you want to use. Just use your favorite one. I will be switching to a hand cannon for the final room though in Omnigul. And also Telesto would be great as well if you don't have Truth. If you do have Telesto, Telesto will do well, especially for the boss room. It will do very well. And then Hunters, I would rock Night Stalker with Void Burn on. And if you can, have a Tier 5 Discipline, Tier 5 Strength setup. Maybe run Double Smoke if you have access to those gauntlets. The Don't Touch Me's would be great for the final room as well, just in case you get overrun by Thrall. You get hit by one, you go invis for a little bit, give you a sec to regroup. Hunters, I think you will have definitely the hardest time soloing this week. Warlocks, the easiest. Titans, the second easiest. Titans, I said you could run Sunbreaker. You can also run Titan Bubble, Armor Light, and, double suppression nades. That's a great setup as well. So for this first room, guys, basically, we're just letting rockets fly, letting nades fly. Truth is absolutely going to melt everything in this strike, and all the way up to Omnigul, you can spam rockets. So you saw me take out, there's going to be Siva Fallen in here. You're going to have Fallen on the right side of the room, Fallen on the left side of the room when you initially come in. As you start to take out adds, you see here some invisible Sword Vandal spawned, some Shanks spawned, but they will not spawn until you dwindle down the first initial wave of enemies that are in here. If you are lucky enough, you will get that heavy box that spawns at the back bottom of those steps. Sometimes that's not going to be there. Hopefully this game doesn't hit you and that box does spawn there, because then you can just spam Truth Rockets, pop a pack, spam Truth Rockets. If you don't have Truth, just rock something Void. Avoid Machine Gun, avoid, Rocket Launcher, whatever it may be. So after those invisible Vandals spawn and we take them out and we take out the Shanks, you are then going to have Hive spawn. Now if you want to, you kind of saw there for a second, the Hive, they will go and attack the Fallen. They're going to fight each other. So if you're lower light and you want to kind of just chill, just go down those back steps and hang out for, a little bit and, let them kind of fight each other and dwindle the adds down. So the Thrall, they're still their spawning into this room is still kind of split up. They used to just come all at once. So it's still split up, which is kind of annoying. But they're very, very easy. It's going to be Thrall, Boomer Knight here and there. It's nothing overwhelming. And you see here on Warlocks, especially Warlocks with the double scatter nades, the Vampire build, and with Catapult on, you can just spam nades the entire time. We're basically going to be using that for Omnigul. We're going to be spamming nades pretty much that entire fight and not using our guns as much. Again, Titans and Hunters, you will have a harder time this week, though it's not impossible. So you see here, we're just taking out Thrall, guys. Just hang back in this room. You can push into the room if you'd like to, but with exposure on, I'm not going to push into the room. So after you dwindle down the Hive quite a bit, you are then going to have more Fallen spawn, just like they always do with this first room. And you're going to have a couple Majors, a couple Major Vandals. You're going to have some Dregs, whatnot. You're going to have some Thrall periodically still spawning throughout this time period. And you see the Thrall, they're going to help you. They're going to attack each other. So if you are under light, guys, you can kind of just hang back. You're waiting on a pack, waiting on your super. Just hang out if you want to. And that's basically the first room. First room's really, really easy as it always is, especially with Void Burn on. You guys can just spam rockets. Telesto, you can come in here and just start spamming Telesto. Remember, with Juggler on, though, after you shoot Telesto, switch to your primary. That way, once you do get kills with Telesto, if you switch to your primary fast enough, special ammo can still drop. After you clear out that fallen wave, you clear out the majors and whatnot, then, Cade, I believe now, it's not Eris anymore, will tell you to push on. Don't push forward right away. Just like if you watched the last time we did Omnigul, do not push up because a bunch of ads are going to be coming through the doorway of where you want to go. Again, you see me, guys. I'm just spamming nades with the Warlock. Hunters, you can use Wombo Combo. You got, Tier 5 Discipline, Tier 5 Strength. If you can have that. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You got something like a Tier 3 setup all the way through or a Tier 4. But if you can't have Tier 5, have Tier 5. And then Titans, I would go with that Simmering Flame setup and the Thermite nades, or you can have, Bubble if you are lower light with Armor Light, and you can, rock double Suppressor nades or double Magnetic, whatever nades you want to do. So that first room is very, very easy. So now we're moving on to the second part, and this is basically the same. We're taking stuff out from as far away as possible. We're going to have some Siva Fallen that are spawned in here, and then we're going to have 4 snipers. The snipers are the dangerous guys, so there's going to be 1 right there. I just took him out. There's going to be 2 on each side. There's going to be 1 front right and then back right, and then 2 on the left in kind of the same positions. If you stay in this room too long, ads might spawn behind you. It's not a 100% thing, but sometimes they will spawn shanks behind you. So these invisible sword guys will be the only ones that push into the room. So here you go. You see the shanks. They're spawning behind me. So as long as you're in this room, the only ads that will push into the room are sword vandals, shanks, and then any ads like the sword captains that will spawn here in a sec, they will push into the room if you are close enough to the door frame, and they kind of lock onto you and you kind of bait them into the room, they will follow you into the room then. But if you're far enough back, they're going to stay at bay and they will stay outside of this room. Again, the only ones that will push in are those sword vandals and shanks. So we're just taking out the last little remaining ads of this initial spawn that comes in here. I got to take out the rest of the snipers. So I've taken out 3. There is going to be 1 more sniper to my far left. And if you don't take him out, he'll usually just drop down and he will stay there. He will not pop back up. So don't forget about that guy though. Once you clear out this initial wave, then the ships are going to start to come and they're going to drop off more ads. Don't forget, we also have that ad above us, but we're not going to worry about him yet. I would not push out. We're going to stay back because these ads that get dropped off by the ship, they're going to come to you. So here are the 2 sword captains that will spawn. They will come with the first ship. Use your supers, use your nades. You can drop back. Again, guys, if you want to, once that first ship's coming in, fall back into the room. They will not push in on you as long as, they can't lock onto you. Granted, if I was where I was, I didn't kill them with my Nova Bomb and I bailed back in the room, there was a high probability that they would follow me there. Again, all we're doing, guys, is taking out everything from as far away as possible, like I say in every single video. Okay, so we have a little lull time. I'm going to move up a little bit, float a rocket or 2, and then I'm going to push up just enough to where I can take out this bum that is hiding up here. Once we take him out, we will also move up to take out that sniper. Don't forget about this guy. You shoot him once, he falls down behind here, and he'll stay right there. But don't forget about him. You push up a little bit, maybe your health's low with exposure on. He snipes you once, you're done. So don't forget about him. Now we're just going to push up a little bit. We're going to use Truth again to float rockets. If you don't have Truth, perfectly fine. Just make sure you have a Void Heavy. Once you take out that major captain, we will be able to move on. I'm going to fast forward here, guys. You're not missing anything. If you've never done the strike, we are just running through the next few parts of this area. Once you get out here, hop on your Sparrow and speed past these guys. If you are going for the gold medal or gold tier, whatever the heck it's called, you might want to kill those guys outside just to build up your score a little bit if you're doing good on time, though you don't really need it to get the gold medal. And bring your Sparrow in here. We're going to hop off, open the door. Once you do that, hop back on your Sparrow. We are going to Sparrow past this entire next part. You can run past this next part if you would like. You can also do this next part if you would like. I would suggest not even wasting your time doing it. If you are going to do it, kill everything from about right here, all the way in the way, way, way back. But I would suggest just skipping it like I'm doing here. I would not waste any time doing that on the hill. Your score will be perfectly fine without doing that part. So we're going to run up here. We're going to hang out on Omnigul. She will make her way up here. Once she does so, she'll try and get through the door. She might struggle for, 20, 30 seconds. Then she will go through the door. Once she does that, then the doors will open. I do think you actually have to kill a few ads. I'm not exactly sure. So I killed a few ads and then the doors opened because they weren't really opening and I was kind of hanging out in there. So here we are. Now we're in the boss room. And this is where the Nightfall is going to get hard because of exposure. If you are in a team of 3, you can kind of come up to this old spot. I can show you that real quick before we do our actual run here. And you have one person, 1 or 2 shooting, and you just have one person sitting up here. And once those people down there die, they can just come and res. And you're totally safe right here. Though a Boomer Knight, they do spawn up here now. So just be aware of that. So if you're in a team of 3, you can just have one guy sit up here or 2 guys sit up back there, one guy doing damage, and they can res you. It's a solid spot. People have been using it since year 1. If they weren't using the back hallway, now that you can't use the back hallway, I would suggest using that room if you are in a team of 3. If you're by yourself, we're going to be kind of using the room to our advantage and this little area right here that I currently am in. So basically, I didn't do it on my first try. It's difficult, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It is harder this week because of exposure. I killed myself a few times with scatter grenades, so be careful, Warlocks. If you are rocking scatter grenades, you can kill yourself pretty easily. So for this initial spot, basically what's going to happen is Omnigul is going to come in, you're going to do some damage, and then she is going to spawn some Thrall. You saw me melting the Thrall with nades. Hunters and Titans, you will be able to melt as well. Then Omnigul is going to scream, and she's going to go away. Once that happens, you're going to have these boomers and acolytes spawn on the right side of the room. That's the only place the ads will be until Omnigul screams again. She will not come back until you're dwindling these ads down. Use your grenades, use your supers, Telesto, shotguns, fusion rifles, heavy, your truth, your rockets, whatever it may be. You will also have a boomer spawn up in that spot that I showed you guys. You want to take him out because he is dangerous. Once you dwindle these ads down enough, Omnigul will scream. Once she screams, she'll come back. She's right there. And once she comes back, then she will start to spawn Thrall and Curse Thrall again. So you have to be aware of them. I was trying to take out this stupid boomer, and I kind of forgot that the Thrall were coming. Titans, if you are using bubble, you could save your bubble for these little Omnigul. You see all the Thrall here. You could pop your bubble right now, right? And have Armor Light on. A Cursed Thrall is not going to take you out in your bubble with Armor Light on. And you could use your grenades. You could be jumping up, using Truth, getting back in your bubble. You could use a sword with your Armor Light bubble if you wanted to. And then again, if you are running Sunbreaker, that is going to work as well. Hunters, you can spam your smoke. You're running the double smoke to slow down the Thrall. You can also go down low, guys, which you'll see me do here in a second if you do get into trouble. So during the Omnigul phases when she's actually here, okay, there's no ads on like the ground. They will come down to you, obviously, but there's not like the little smoke, the wizard smoke things that slow you down. The ground is clear. You can move around freely. You can run around and use the bridge that's above me right now to your advantage. Omnigul will not be able to shoot you if you're underneath the bridge. She just won't. These Thrall and Cursed Thrall will come down to you though, so you have to be aware of them, but you'll be able to move freely around the room when Omnigul is out, except for the very last wave, which we basically try and skip. So here we go. She's going to keep spawning Thrall periodically until you do enough damage for her to spawn in the next wave of ads. So here she goes. She screamed again, and she's leaving. Now, you're going to have Hive, holy manoli. I almost die there. Now we're going to have Hive on the other side of the room, and with Acolytes, instead of Boomers, you're going to have Ogres. And with Void Burn on, they are very, very, very dangerous. So you need to be very careful. If you do have a sniper on, use that to your advantage. Pop a shot, get back in cover. Pop a shot, get back in cover. You see Warlocks are going to be floating grenades. Titans, Hunters, you can sit here and throw grenades and wait. I know you don't have the vampire builds that the Warlocks have. As you see, I'm just spamming grenades over and over again. But guys, you control when Omnigul is going to come back. Okay, by taking out enough ads. If you don't want her to come back yet, then physically sit down right here, though Acolytes will push up on you, so be aware of them. But you can just chill out. So you'll have 2 Ogres. I know you didn't see them. You'll have 2 Ogres spawn with Acolytes. Once you take them out, you will have 2 more Ogres spawn. One will be up in that top spot. You see, that is a very dangerous one. But before you take out those last 2 Ogres, guys, I want you to make sure you have full heavy, you have full grenades, and you have your super. Warlocks, you have your Void Bomb, you got your nades. Titans, you have your hammer. You know what else, Titans, you could do? You could switch to bubble and have weapons alight and illuminated on, and pop your bubble kind of where I'm at right now, and use that weapons alight bubble with truth. If you have truth, if you don't have it, whatever heavy you have, you're going to use that weapons alight bubble and your heavy to just spam the hell out of her. If you do have access to Helm of Saint 14, I would put that on for this last little round, because with weapons on, your bubble's not going to protect you from the ads. Hunters, I want you to wait until you have your Night Stalker. Use that black hole. Do not use Quiver. And I forgot to mention it earlier, but Night Stalkers, make sure you're using that perk that makes your smoke last longer. And you're going to use your super with rockets to melt her. So after we take out these two last ogres, Omnigul's going to come back, and she's going to be spawning Thrall just like she does every single time she comes back. But we're gearing up to finish her off, guys. She will scream again, but when she does that, more Hive will spawn in, but this time around, she will not go away. So make sure you have full heavy, make sure you got your grenades, got your super, because we are going to spam the hell out of her with void stuff to absolutely try and melt her and finish her off before the last little wave of ads spawn, because she stays out with them. She doesn't go away. And here we go. You see, guys, I'm just spamming with grenades. Obviously, it's easier on the Warlock than it will be on the Titan the Hunter. Using my heavy, using my super, and if you have void stuff, regardless if it's truth or whatnot, it's going to melt her. And there we go. We've done it. You've done it. It is a harder solo this week, guys, because of exposure. Everything up to the room is very easy. The room is just a little difficult because of exposure and because you're trapped in here now. So you'll come in here. She'll be here. Once you start to do damage on her, she'll start to spawn Thrall periodically. If you have to bail around the room, use the room to your advantage. You don't have the wizard smoke that will slow you down. Then she will scream. You'll have the Hive come out on the right side. Use your super, nades, heavy, whatever it may be. Stay up on the catwalk area. She'll come back. Thrall again. Use the room to your advantage if you need to. Then she will spawn the Hive on the left side with the ogres. That's dangerous. Then she will come back. Make sure you got full heavy, you got your super grenades, and use all of your firepower to melt her and finish her off as quickly as possible. What?
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck, motherfucker! Motherfucker! You know how fucking stupid you fucking are! No!
Hopefully this video was helpful and helps you get it done this week, guys. Have a good one. See ya.